Happy morning, all of you. Okay, the voice is very less. Today is the last day of your session?
Yes.
Okay, so the voice dhimi ho gaya. Actually, we say you were avalaki bovalaki when you started off your class. After 2 days, you become avalaki bovalaki kanchina bina bina dam doom das. Today you are in Koi and Kotar, and they have given me leadership skills. It is a challenge, and I've been told that all of you are working in ISRO. It is a dream come true kind of a job. It is like Suryenge torch. How many of you know Kannada here? Okay, so there is a saying in Kannada, Suryenge torch. That means we consider people who work at ISRO or those smart ones who get an opportunity to work there. When I will have to get into a platform like that and then start teaching them leadership skills, it is a challenge for me also. But with this grace, everything is possible. Most of the time, when we look at some of the ISRO's achievements also, it is unbelievable. When we look at how to execute leadership skills within the available resources, when we go to various PD sessions in various schools and corporate worlds, we take ISRO as an example. We compare ISRO with NASA, and then we say how ISRO's leadership is far more ahead of NASA. When we look at Mission Mars, all of you know, just for a repetition, the entire project, when it was compared, it costed less than 10 rupees per kilometer travel amount, and it was declared by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi telling that our mission Mars costed less than rupees 10 per kilometer. That was the reason there were a lot of countries whose dream was to see their own satellite. Lot of government organizations from various countries who wanted their own satellite to be launched. They thought it will never come true. Even in US, there were a lot of companies who thought it will never come true because the budget was very high. When we compare the budget during that time, there was one movie that was released, Gravity. So the comparison was made in such a manner that the cost of the movie Gravity and the cost of our mission Mars was 10% of the total cost of this movie Gravity. So because of this, among this achievement, so we got one more records on our cap. I think we sent around 120 plus satellites in one go, and few of those satellites were from US also, because US had their own government teams. They thought in order to have their own satellite doing a specific work, to get it launched, most of the people working there thought that it will never become true because the budget was very high. If they had to approach NASA for something like that, it was highly unaffordable. Most of the people working there, they were praying to God, let this dream come true within my lifetime, and that dream came true because of the leadership skills of actually ISRO. In actually leadership skills, we make a very beautiful statement. A leader is the one with the available resources. What is that you can do different? Leadership is not that trying to arrange all the resources. Leadership is what can you do with whatever you have, rather than thinking of what all you can't do because of things you don't have. So we always put it across on the other line. So today, if I'm talking about leadership skills, maybe it will be a recap for most of you, because you would have heard this in various books or various speeches. But when you sit together and collectively, when you try to recollect, it may actually build up a little bit of more confidence. That's all. Otherwise, you are already at par, you are able to hit that bullseye. But because of this, Gen Z is not only troubling the youngsters, Gen Z and the latest technology and the kind of living what all of us are living today, we are also in a trouble. We need a push. We need that encouragement. We need that push. And that push would be today's leadership skills. So the topic was leadership skills and leadership development. When we talk about leadership skills and leadership development, I would like to take up three main leaders whom I always admire the most, and two scientists whom I admire the most. Because most of us come with this precondition that in order to be a leader, your launch has to be in a better place. For the satellite to be successfully left in its orbit, it is very important the launch happens at the right place. But most of the time, all these leaders whom I am going to take you as an example, their launch cannot be compared at all, because their launch and where they have reached is highly incomparable. But yes, it is very important how you start. The belief that you hold at the beginning of the journey defines the journey. So where you start will make a big difference. But I cannot say that to this chaiwala person. This chaiwala was a very simple chaiwala boy, and today he is considered as the greatest leader of the world. If at all you ask ChatGPT, if at all you ask Perplexity, if at all you ask Gemini, by giving certain conditions, honestly give me an opinion among all the prime ministers or among all the leaders of various countries, who is considered as the greatest leader. All three would unanimously say Narendra Modi. And this man was a chaiwala. His launch pad was not in a better place. It was from a chaiwala to becoming the Prime Minister of India. Forget about this launch. One more comparison would be unbelievable. A fisherman's son. A fisherman's son who should have always looked at the ocean and the fishes in the ocean, and he should have told, one day I will have a biggest shipping boat and I am going to catch as many fishes as possible. And this has to be his vision, because that is what is surrounding, is influencing him. And when his friends, when his loved ones, when his near and dear cousins and brothers and sisters watched at the ocean and told, one day I will be a bigger fisherman, this boy watched something else. He watched the reflection of the moon and he told, one day I will send somebody to the moon, or one day I will go to the moon, I will study about the moon. And that man was our missile man of India, Dr. Abdul Kalam. So where is the launch pad? That is uncomparable. We always think a good start is very important, but let me tell you, there are a lot of examples where a not so good start also has made them get into the track. Now that all of you are already on a good track, you are working in an ISRO, I think nothing less than going on to become a director. It cannot be stopped at all. Why? I'll give you one more example. A tribal woman, a tribal girl, who should live in forest, and actually she should die in the forest. That should be the nature. And when I say tribal, I am not even telling a girl from a village. I am telling a girl from a tribal who lived in the forest as tribals, and this girl aims at something very big, something so big, it is uncomparable. And today she is the first citizen of India. Yes, I am talking about Draupadi Murmu. When you look up to her, I think our living itself is a leadership skills and leadership development training for each and every one of us. If she can do it, I can also do it. If this fisherman's son can become this, I can also become. If this chaiwala could become this, I can also become. Yeah, here we are talking about intelligent minds. Let me tell you, sometimes to become the greatest scientist, who told you will have to be smart? The same academics, the same kind of group who actually train you in academics, if they are going to reject you telling you are a slow learner, if the school is going to throw you out telling that these kind of students cannot be taught in our schools because they are very, very slow and they are a little mentally retarded kids, they need to be sent to a special school. Now I should ask you this question, is intelligence very important for you to become a greater scientist? Definitely not. Why I am telling you that? Maybe few of you who are in ISRO now, you wouldn't have come from a technical background. But that should not stop you at aiming at something where your mind and heart is actually associated with. It is very closely associated with. Sometimes जो दिमाग से नहीं चलता वो दिल से चल जाता है. And that is what happened to this boy who was thrown out of the school, and he was told that he should be put into a special school. But let me narrate this story. For that, we require something called as confidence. What is that confidence? I should start believing in myself, and my near and dear ones should start believing in me, and that can actually build up as a team. The entire team can become very, very powerful. You're working in various departments, so it is very important. You are handling a few of your colleagues, or you're actually leading few of your team members. You should stand there as a strong man to tell that it's okay, we can do this. And that encouragement is very, very important. Let me share this beautiful story to start off, and then we will take up. I was talking about these two great scientists, Thomas Alva Edison, who as a childhood he was considered as a slow learner. He was sent out of the school because he could not make it up. Albert Einstein, the same thing. He was also considered and he was also actually treated like he is not a normal student. He is a slow learner. They had to be put into a special school. But Thomas could not afford that, so Thomas had to be taught by her mother at her home, and both of them have more than 1000 inventions to their cap. So let me again redefine: smartness is our academic growth is responsible for you to become scientist. No, even this statement proves to be wrong. I can take up n number of such examples, because today we are talking about leadership skills. How a very ordinary man who has a strong will can always hit that bullseye what he wants to. There is a beautiful saying we always tell it to college students. Where there is a will, there is a way. Can all of you repeat? Where there is a will, there is a way. Once again, where there is a will, there is a way. Matome, where there is a will, there is a way. But let me put it like this: there is always a way. Do you have the will? It is not that where there is a will, there is a way. There is always a way. A person who could not be compared that he could even reach 1 or 2 steps has reached millions of steps ahead when a chaiwala becomes the prime minister. When a tribal woman becomes the president, she's been taken still more beyond. I am actually getting onto a relay race. I may be 5 minutes late, but still I become the first. It is comparable. I am 3 days late, still I have become first. That is a comparison when this actually so-called tribal woman becomes the president, and when this fisherman's son becomes the greatest scientist, the missile man of India. So I am telling you, there is always a way. Every one of you sitting here, do you have that will? That will is very important. Chandrayaan-1 was very, very successful. It boosted us. Leadership skill is when you actually see a success, there is always a strong energy in you. You don't need a drive. The next project you are going to be with full of energy. When Chandrayaan-2, I don't call it as a failure, but was it completely success? Definitely not. At that point of time, to stand strong and tell that we can execute Chandrayaan-3 and make it a very success, yes, that is where your leadership skills is going to be questioned. That is where your leadership skills is going to be challenged. And in most of these cases, let me tell you, you don't need to move mountains. You need to move yourself, that's all. Most of the greatest men who have done greatest achievement, they did not move mountains, they just moved themselves. By that, the mountains automatically started moving. The statement is very, very clear. God only helps those who are ready to help themselves. Are you ready to push yourself and say, I want this project, next project to be successful? I know this game we have failed. It is not a complete failure. We have identified a SWOT analysis has been done. What were our strengths? What were our weaknesses? What is the weaknesses which we can make it strong? Yes, soft landing did not happen as expected. Yes, we will look at all the permutation and combination and see to it the soft landing becomes successful. To stand there after failure, you require what is called as courage. And that is actually the leadership skills. Do we have that leadership skills? And for that, confidence is very, very important. Most of the time, you should be that confidence giver for your team. Sometimes the senior most member of the team did not build confidence. A very ordinary boy who walks in can build that confidence. I can give you n number of such examples. One would be the story of Thomas. It so happened when Thomas did not learn to speak even at the age of 5 years, helplessly, mom had to go and put him to a school. She took him to a school. The school wanted to test him. When he was not able to speak, even say few sounds, he could not. So they told, we cannot take him. Please let him come after he has learned to speak. 1 year passed, he did not learn to speak. 2 years passed, he was able to utter few sounds. She once again went to the same school and requested, please, I want him to feel that he is going to school. That can motivate him. That is the only reason. Let him come for as many days as possible. But if you can keep him for the entire year, I'll be happy. With that condition, the principal took him with a condition that if he is not going to cope up, we will have to actually ask him to stop. Mother agreed because mother wanted him to feel confident. So Thomas was so happy. He went to a school, but he was not made to sit with his age students because he was a little slow. So he was made to sit at least 3 years younger, because the entry level of the school, the first standard where he was made to sit, he was not able to cope up with others. He felt it a very difficult situation because he could not understand. Others could follow, he could not follow. Others could follow, he could not follow. Every day he came home and told, Mama, there are a lot of my friends who are much more elder to me, younger to me. They are able to follow, but why is it, Mama, I am not able to follow? Mama can't tell him, you are a slow learner, my son. I don't know, it's God's. I cannot change it. God only has to change it. Then he continued. She kept on telling all that to himself, and she told, nothing, you are the best, you are much more smarter than rest of them. Yes, Mama, yes, you are the smartest, you go from tomorrow. With that confidence, he went. After a weeks of classes, somehow they found that he could not follow anything. All the teachers came together and they told, no, we cannot have Thomas in this class. They also felt that Thomas in this class may not be himself learning. He may be an entrance to others, because whenever we have explaining, we look at his face says, I have not understood anything, and rest of the face feels like they know everything. So they told, no, the only way is he has to be put into a special school. So they go up to the principal and they tell the principal, this is what the condition is. I think you should talk to their parents and allow him to go to a special school where such students are handled. So what the principal does, he wanted to call her mother and have a word with her. So he calls Thomas from the class and he says to Thomas, what time your mom comes? My mom comes only in the evening, she goes for work. Okay, from tomorrow you need not come to school. I wanted to talk to your mother, but she's not going to come within the school hours. So you do like this, you go home and you tell your mother, from tomorrow you need not come to the school. Why, sir? I want to come to school. I love coming to school. I know that, but you cannot. Why? When he asks, the answer is there in the letter. Then he opens the letter, he doesn't know how to read. He just looks at the letter, he does not understand anything, he is crying, and then he folds the letter, keeps it, and then he goes to the home. Once he goes home, mother was expecting one day this would happen. As soon as the mother comes, that the son is crying, mother made a guess. Why? Did principal tell you something? Yes, Mama, principal told that I should not go to school from tomorrow. I knew that one day the principal will say. I wanted you to understand that, for that reason only I sent you to the school. Mama, why? Why? Let me explain. Mama, you need not explain. The principal has written in this letter. Please read it for me. He opens that letter and he starts reading. To the parent of Thomas Alva Edison, the mother reads, your son Thomas Alva Edison is a special child. He is very smart. A genius student like him cannot be taught with normal students. He needs to be sent to a special school where such genius students are handled. If you can afford, that would be beautiful. Otherwise, I think you will have to teach him at home. We wish Thomas all the best. Yours sincerely, the principal has signed, and the letter gets closed. Mother tells that, and this boy is boasted with so much of confidence. Yes, Mama, did the principal say that? Yes. Mama, I used to feel all my friends were different and I was different. I could make out. That means I am special. I am a genius. I think they are not genius. Okay, Mama, I understood. So from tomorrow you only teach, Mama. And the Mama started by putting a small space in her small hut, and he had to learn by experiments because he was a kinesthetic student. See, most of the students will be visual students. Visual students are visually smart students who observe and they learn things. And there are a second set who are auditory students. Auditory students, they listen to it and then they understand it best. And the last set is kinesthetic. They can't visualize and then understand. They can't listen and they understand. They will have to do experiment. They will have to write. They will have to feel the experiment. Only then they understand, but they understand perfectly. And that becomes permanently etched in the memory. And that's what worked for Thomas. By the age of 17, 18, 19, Thomas had done so many small inventions and he had sold it to many of them. At that time, their home was in a better condition than what it was earlier. So they wanted to move to a new place. When they wanted to move to a new place, all the old things they were starting to shift. Mama had gone somewhere outside. Thomas, who was already a 18, 19-year-old young adult, he was removing all the trunks and he finds his trunk which he was using during school days. He feels so happy. Oh, my trunk. I used to ask my mom and mom always told she has lost, she has lost. It is not lost, it is right here. He opens the trunk, he finds his uniform. Looking at that uniform, he's so happy. He recollects his school days. And then just under the uniform, there was this letter. Thomas realizes it's the same letter. It's the same letter that was given to me by the principal, and this is what my mama read it for me. Today I can read, let me read it. He always asks, Mama, where is that letter? Every year, 2 years, 3 years after his growth, he always felt a trigger that he wanted to see that letter, he wanted to read that letter. He used to feel like sometimes when he is down, you need that push. So what do? You look up to a mentor, you look up to a book, you look up to a phrase, and then it builds up so much of confidence in him by reading that again and again, by talking to them again and again, and that boosting was required for him. See, he always asks, Mama, mujhe thoda sa dull lag raha hai. Why don't you give me that letter? I want to feel that letter, what the principal has told. I am different, I am genius. I want to feel that, Mama. And every time Mama told, I lost that truck, my son, I am very sorry, I lost that truck. And then when he opens the letter, he looking at the letter, he's completely lost. He starts crying like a baby. The letter actually was written like this: to the parents of Thomas Alva Edison, your son, it is not genius, your son is a slow learner. A slow learner like him, a little mentally challenged like him, should be sent to a special school where such genius students nahi, such slow learners and mentally challenged students are taken care. We cannot have him with normal students because he is slow. It will disturb the environment of the class also. With great apology, we would sincerely say, let him go to a special school or you train him at home. Yours sincerely. Reading that letter, he completely outbursts. Right at that moment, mother comes. He goes and hugs her and he says, Mama, you should have given me the letter. I think by 10, 11 years I was confident. Mama, you have built a Thomas out of me. Thank you so much. So that confidence is a turning point for us. So that confidence is needed for every one of us. Though we are in a progressive world, because when you work in a company like ISRO or any of the top IT companies or scientific companies, your progress is always there. Even in that progress, you need a gentle push, like you need a hard push to climb that ladder of success. I've also researched who were those who became the directors of ISRO over a period of last 20, 25 or 30 years. Every such person was a very ordinary scientist who walked in just like you and me, getting into this ISRO, and today they are on the top ladder. Why? They knew that consistency and regularly being focused can take you up to that level without getting hesitated, without losing their confidence, because sometimes confidence could have come down. I am talking about a leadership skills. For a mother, it was important to make a leader out of Thomas Alva Edison. It was important for him to put this and say, you can do this. And when he understood that you can do that, that actually took him to the next level. What if he had read the letter? If you would have read the letter, you would have thought I am a slow learner. That would have become an excuse, because a leader is the one who does not give excuse. A leader has a willingness womb. What I mean by willingness womb is, hurdles are there for every one of us. When I say womb, we will compare it to a mother's womb. Mother's womb is a place where a new entity or a new life is given birth to, or a new thought is given birth to. Like that, if I am comparing a willingness womb and a non-willingness womb, in that willingness womb, when I want to do that, what will I look for? I will look for solutions. When I don't want to do that, at least a 1% I don't want to do that, what will I look for? I will look for excuses. From the womb of a willingness, there is actually a solution that is born from the womb of unwillingness. There is always an excuse that will be born. So ask yourself, are you holding on to the womb of willingness or womb of unwillingness? This is a challenge. Every time when you release a thought process of taking up the next step, ask whether you are releasing the thought process with a willingness or non-willingness. Because willingness means you will look for solution. Non-willingness means you will look for excuses. So we will talk about that, because when we talk about a leader, that willingness and non-willingness is important. And more important is, in this, can I maintain that consistency? Today you are high in energy because last was a successful project. But tomorrow can you be high in energy if the last was a failure also? Why? All of us know. All of us know every failure is a stepping stone to success. But somehow we are not ready to trust that. We are strongly not ready to trust that. We act foolish. We act so foolish, just like the story. Why the story is this? Because sometimes when you are down, you should be able to remember that story and tell that story to yourself. Why confidence makes a lot of difference. Why confidence really makes a lot of difference. Why failures are necessity, because that failure is helping you to become stronger than what you are today. And that pain has to be experienced. If I don't experience that pain and failure of pain, I cannot actually come out as a butterfly. A very beautiful story where once there was a place where they used to cultivate, or they used to grow butterflies. A scientist's son observed the entire process, and he was always confused that when a butterfly gets into a cocoon, from the worm to that cocoon, and when he has to break open from the cocoon, or any bird when she has to break open from that egg and then come out, it is a process, it is a painful process. In that painful process, he always observed and he always felt like, I should go and help, I should go and help. Why are they feeling this pain? I can always make them come painless. So one day when his father was not there, he came and he saw one beautiful, what you call it as a butterfly who was in that worm and in that cocoon. He was trying to break open. When he was trying to break open, he used the forceps and he tried gently opening it. Before his father could come, he had neatly opened it so that the worm, it was like a worm, but because it did not try on its own to try and come out, it was not able to stretch. After some time, the butterfly dies because it could not come out. When it came out, it was not able to stretch its wings. When he is not able to stretch his wings, he died. And the dad told, sometimes pain is necessary for you to have a gain. So it's okay. Can you initiate pain to yourself? That is the logic. If I am a leader, I should be ready to give pain to myself. Why? The logic works like this. God also plays this beautiful logic. What is that? In any kind of a situation that you face, you experience two kinds of emotions. Emotion number one, you experience pleasure. Emotion number two, you experience pain. But have you understood how this experience of emotions, like I am experiencing pleasure, right hand, pain, left hand, how this works? Whatever is pleasurable now will give me permanent pain in future. Whatever is painful now will give me permanent pleasure in future. This logic we forget. We always look for pleasure. We always look for pleasure. We always look for pleasure. And there what happens? You will never be having that permanent pleasure enjoying in your life. Yes, you have experienced lot of pain. You have did your academics to the core. That is the reason you got an opportunity to work in ISRO. Beautiful. That is the past. Right now what? Are you ready in every situation to take up that pain? In your department, they say there is an opportunity for you. There is a department which is going to execute a new project, but you guys should be able to work 24 hours. That is how all of you worked during what so-called multiple projects that was executed in ISRO. There was nothing like day, there was nothing like night. You have worked 24 hours, you were out of your family. And are you ready for that? Yes, when you are ready to take up that pain, once the project is completed, you will cherish that for your lifetime. Telling, I was a part of this Chandrayaan 1, Chandrayaan 2 and Chandrayaan 3. That is a permanent pleasure for us. We know that, but still we are not ready to take up that pain right now. Right now you have an option. It is not that on a daily basis I am already a learned person, I have nothing to learn. No, I will have to read books, books after books, books after books, books after books. Yes, it is painful. Instead, watching Netflix is quite pleasurable. Instead of watching Amazon is more pleasurable. But still, I make a choice of taking this pain because I know when I give this pain consistently to myself, automatically pleasure will hit me. If I don't give this pain consistently, then I will not be hitting a pleasure. I want pleasure now, I will be hitting a pain. You will never get your promotions. You will never see growing in the ladder of success, managerial growth. You will never find. You cannot see yourself in the topmost. Why? Because you did not voluntarily give the pain to yourself. Sleep is required. Can I fix it to 6 hours of sleep or 5 hours of sleep and say rest of the time I use it for my upgradation? It is a challenge. There are 24 hours. Can I regularly give 1 hour of exercise to my body? I know an healthy body can build and have an healthy and scientific mind, and only an healthy and scientific mind can help me to progress in life. All of us know this. But still, why we were living like a chapati before marriage, after marriage we become puri, and after kids we become batura. What is the reason? We stopped caring about ourselves. We started giving pleasure to ourselves. We were not ready to get up, take up that pain and continue to do things which was necessity. Yes, there is pain. We need what is called as pleasure. But one man consistently took up that pain, come what may. Today we admire him as saying a leader like him who has not taken even 1 day off is really a great leader. He was Chief Minister of Gujarat, he did not take a day leave. When he is a second term Prime Minister of India also, he has never taken a leave. That should be your attire. Same attitude Abdul Kalam had. See, leadership skill is daring to say that this is what I want. When you say this is what I want, definitely even the angels and the devils who are surrounding us, they cannot deny you this. A leader is the one who dictates, and that becomes an action. It becomes like a Ashri Ravani and it shall become true. Why? Because he sincerely follows that leadership skills by heart, by mind, by soul. Somebody very beautifully asked, it was a recorded statement, it was a press conference, and Abdul Kalam had just come out of addressing a group of students in one of the universities, and one of the press member told, sir, you achieved the highest position, you were a president of India, you were a greatest scientist, you were a missile man of India. अगर आपका कोई last wish है, do you think you have any such last wish you want it to be fulfilled, and if you want to share it, it would be a message to the world? Because everything what Abdul Kalam spoke, he was not a great orator, but every word he spoke from the heart, it used to touch the heart, it used to pierce the heart. Somebody asked him this question and he told, yes, I have a dream. I want my soul to live this body when I am doing something which I like the most. All of you know, I like talking to students. I want this last breath of mine to be taken when I am actually talking to the students. And even the angels could not deny it. They told, your wish is my command, master. It shall be fulfilled. And one day when he was in a university campus addressing a group of people, not a huge, a group of people, because he loved that. He had knowledge, he wanted to share and see to it that I multiply my knowledge among all the youngsters. This was his vision. He kept on doing it day in, day out, day in, day out. Was it comfortable? No, it was pain. It was easy for him to lie down on a bed and then enjoy his retired life. But he never missed an opportunity when somebody called him. Though it was painful, he volunteered painful because he knew if I want to give a gain to my India, if India needs to experience a gain out of this mind and body, it has to be by myself taking that pain. It was difficult for him to even lift the leg and keep it forward. But still, he never missed an opportunity to go onto the dais and then address people. And as he was talking to a group, he slowly collapsed. That is the kind of life what we want. Why I am putting that is, A leader, when he works selflessly for a particular cause, if your followers want to do everything that you ask for, do you think the universe will hesitate to do whatever you ask him to do? Definitely not. It works. And that is what we as an Indians, our so-called ancient scriptures, be it Quran, be it Bible, or be it our Bhagavad Gita, it actually tells the same thing. It says we are co-living with so-called devils and angels. We call it as Rakshasas and Devatas. So the devils and Rakshasas, whatever, in Christianity you call it as angels and devils. In Quran you may give a different name. In Hindutva we give a different name. They coexist in our working space. So when I release a thought process, if the thought process is positive, automatically all the angels will come. Just like you rubbed a genie and you are asking a wish, you need not rub also, you need not ask. Every thought that you release will become a statement, and the same genie or the angels will come and say, your wish is my command, master, it shall be fulfilled. If today you decide, from tomorrow I am going to get up at 4 o'clock, 4 to 5 it's going to be meditation, 5 to 6 I am going to practice yoga, and 6 to 7 I will do at least 5 to 8 kilometers walk, only then I am going to start my day. Yes, if it gets fixed, slowly the angels will come and say, your wish is my command, Malik, it shall be fulfilled. But when the alarm rings, when you don't get up and your mind says, it's okay, instead of 4 o'clock, I will get up at 5 o'clock, the same angels will come and say, your wish is my command, master, you shall get up at 5. Look at the walk of life that you followed from the time you were born till now. When you look at the entire path, what will you realize? Most of the time, it was not God came and told you, you cannot grow in life. No. You only decided, I cannot reach that particular position. In your department, there was a challenge. You had an opportunity to get into the highest post, but you needed that commitment and hard working which others could not give. If you were capable of giving that leadership skills, selfless commitment, people would have identified you, you would have reached that. But what did you say? No, I cannot come so early, I cannot leave late, I do not want to demonstrate, I like this project from the bottom of my heart, I want to be like everybody else, an ordinary average guy. I'm not saying I'm not going to work for the company, I will work. But the sincerity of working, let it be not like Modi ji. Modi ji will not take leave for 30 years. But I cannot do that. I want to take leave. So when you give excuses for yourself, that means your room of willingness is not willing at all. From that non-willingness, excuses are born. When you want, that excuses becomes a reality, because excuse is a truth in a wrong place. Jet lag is there. It's truth. Everybody experiences that. I am leaving from India right now. It is morning. After 12 hours, it should be night. But I go to a place where after 12 hours, it is still a day there. My mind and my body is not able to identify. It needs some time to get adjusted to that new environment, because I have actually gone through a day where there was no night at all. I have been consistently experiencing day. So what happens? There is a jet lag. So most of them take 8 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours of so-called rest in order to come out of it and then get and start attending meetings. But for this great leader of ours, Narendra Modi, there was no jet lag at all. He always told, I am ready. People used to wonder why. Because when there is a willingness, I want, automatically solutions are born. In your case, as an example, tomorrow, all of you sitting here, how many of you strongly believe tomorrow the alarm rings at 4:30 and you will get up just because I have did my class? No. Why? There is no willingness to get up. The same tomorrow, your daughter will come, or your sister's daughter who is actually with you will come and say, Uncle or Papa, tomorrow I have an interview, Papa. So the college has asked me to be in the college campus by 5 o'clock. Can you drop me by 4:45? Fixed. Do you think you will sleep next day? No, 3 o'clock you are awake. You are awake, you take bath, you do all the puja and you ask him, I want my daughter to get this job, and then exactly at 4:30 you will come and you will knock. Oh angel. Then she will say, what Papa? Then he'll say, you told me there is an interview? No ma. He says, no Papa, I'm sorry, I told you a lie. I wanted you to go for a job. You go. That day you may go. Next day will you get up? No. Why? There is no willingness to get up. The choice of I want to get up, choice of I don't want to get up is a choice that you will have to make. That is what is the difference between an ordinary and extraordinary man. Extraordinary man is also an ordinary man, but extraordinary man did not give up, ordinary man gave up. Because we think one or two failures and you give up on your life only. The story goes something like this. Here was an IT professional. Why I call him as IT professional? Because he was from Mangalore. He was a good student and he scored good marks and his project was amazing. Anybody who knew about his project could not hesitate, they had to recruit him. That kind of a person he was. So he gets an interview call from Infosys. He was also confident because he was smart. He had done the best project. He had amazing communication skills. He had amazing negotiation skills. So there was no way by which he would have actually got not selected in any kind of an interview he would have attended. So the first interview call comes from Infosys. He promises to himself. That is called as willingness. He promises, I will only touch the breakfast or a water after I get an offer letter. He decides. Early morning he lands in Bangalore. From morning 6 he is not at anything because that was his commitment. The moment the sun rises, I will not touch anything until I get the offer letter. So the first round of interview happens at 8 o'clock, then the second round at 10 o'clock. By 11:30, all the rounds are completed and offer letter is given to him. Why? He was smart. He knew how to negotiate and get things done. So with that amazing communication skills, he comes with that offer letter, very, very happy, and he's standing in front of the entire Infosys campus and he's saying, look, I got a job. Then immediately a trigger clicks. He is hungry. All this time he did not think of that hunger because his only focus was, I should get through that interview. So that kind of a focus all of us should have. You will forget everything. You will only concentrate on that. So when my daughter had an interview to attend, my focus was come what, I am not going to sleep, and you got up at 3 o'clock because that willingness was there that I should get up. Most of the time you don't have that willingness because you don't want to get up, so you look for excuses. After 50, how do you expect us to actually get up so early? One of the book writes, if it is 50 plus or 40 plus, I should sleep for 8 hours, 9 hours. No book has written. The same book would have given some excuse also. But you only read what you want to read because you are looking at the convenience. You are not ready to give you pain. Sleeping is pleasurable. Getting up and going out is painful. As a leader, can you volunteer and say, I am ready to give myself pain? Then you are a leader. Otherwise, you are not a leader. Now he decides, I will have something. He is looking for one Udupi hotel somewhere. He was a smart boy. So he goes up and there was one Udupi hotel where there was a huge rush. The moment you see the rush, yes, definitely the breakfast or the lunch served there had to be very good. That's the reason there is a heavy rush. He goes up to the counter. The owner himself is sitting in the counter and he starts. Sir, do you have the best vadas? He says, yes sir, we have the best vadas, we have the best idli. No sir, I only like vadas, I want to have vada. He says, yes, ours is the best vada, you can ask anybody. And he simply asks one or two customers, sir, na vada hegide sir, how is our vada? Everybody says, very tasty. Vasubra, Bangalore ge? He says, and then he says, haudu. Ellinda? Mangalorinda. Oh, Mangalore navrena, olle vada sigutte, have it anta. He asks one more question, sir, you have told vada is very good. That is one condition. Next, can your vada satisfy my hunger? He says, yes sir, my vada can satisfy anybody's hunger. He is very happy. Okay. Sir, with these two conditions I am sitting. Agboda. He says, Agbodu. Sit. He sits. One plate vada kodi. A round vada, small size. And then he asks, do you charge anything extra, sir? Bangalore for chutney and sambar? He says, no, we don't charge anything extra. It's free. Along with vada, you can add how much ever you want. Then the first plate of vada he completes. He looks up the owner and says, very tasty, but stomach not full. Then the owner is happy. Hey, inner plate vada kodi. He eats second plate vada. He again says, very, very tasty, stomach not full. And the third vada, fourth vada. In personality development, we call this story as nth vada concept or sapt vada concept. Sapt means 7. He eats the fifth vada, sixth vada, and before actually he completes the sixth vada, the waiter goes to the counter. Sir, yen sir, istu olle customer, yen olle customer, aste avange tinnakagalla. None experience. In one vada purti tinbidle, nin sambala bekidre 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ extra ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ, he says. He says, I know by my experience he cannot even take one extra vada. If he eats even half of the next vada, your salary will be incremented by 300 rupees. This man is so happy. He's praying to God. Oh God, please let me eat this vada. Oh God. Because the same supplier would have asked the owner, 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ increment kodi, 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ increment kodi, give me 100 rupees increment, give me. Every time he rejected. At that time he agrees, I'll give you 300 rupees increment from this month. Go. If he eats that, next vada. At least if he eats half. That is the confidence. Sometimes some mentors say, you try one more attempt. I'm sure you will hit that bullseye. But we are not ready. We give up. Nahi hota. Yes, it is like a family pack only. You were like a chapati, then you became a puri, then you became a batora. Yes, you cannot become a puri, but you did not do it over one day. It slowly took a lot of time. And then seventh vada is served. He goes and tells all the suppliers, ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರು increment ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವನೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಆ ವಡ ತಿಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ದೇವರಿಗೆ, please ask for God, let him eat that vada. And all of them are watching him. Even the owner is watching, because he has agreed. In that flow, he told 300 rupees, he did not realize. He is also looking, he is also saying, tinde irli devre. So this mess is happening. That guy breaks the vada into 4 parts. He takes the first vada, dips it into sambar, dips it into chutney, he puts it there. He is not able to chew and gulp because his vadas are already here. 7 vadas. 6 vadas, sorry. 7th vada he could only eat 1/4. That also he could not gulp. With great difficulty he gulped. Then he looked at the owner and he told, very tasty and stomach also full. For the first time he told, stomach is full. Now he comes to the counter and he says, sir, how much is 1 plate vada? He says 40 rupees. So he is calculating, 1 plate vada is 4, 7 4s are, this is the money you will have to pay. He takes 40 rupees, he keeps there and he keeps going. He goes and immediately catches it. Sir, what is this? 40 and 7 vada, sir. Sir, what did you say? Your vada can satisfy my hunger. Your vada is very tasty. Your vada was tasty, I am not saying no. But first vada did not satisfy my hunger, sir. If it would have, I wouldn't have gone for the second vada at all. And even second vada could not satisfy hunger. If you would have, I wouldn't have gone for third vada. Let me tell you, only the last vada satisfied my hunger. And I did not even eat the full vada. I ate only 1/4. I should pay only 10 rupees. But I am paying 40 rupees and he goes. We will not talk who is stupid, who is not stupid. But ask yourself this question, are you not doing the same stupid thing and telling, one failure, I give up everything? One little bombarding from our neighbors or from our colleagues, you give up everything. Once something you tried and it did not happen and you give up everything. No, there is nothing called as give up. You should be able to bounce back. There is nobody who was successful by not experiencing multiple failures. No examples at all. Every leader has a bouquet of failures. Every leader has a bouquet of failure. When we talk about God of cricket, yes, the one leadership that comes into our mind is Tendulkar. How he took himself, becoming that leader to himself and hitting that 100th century, which is highly impossible to imagine by youngsters today. And was it easy for him? Somebody asked him, you're so happy because you have so many records. Yes, what you say is right. I'm happy, but I'm also unhappy because of my records. He told, what do you mean by you are unhappy also? You have only heard about the positive records what I have made. There is one book which writes, I am the only person who has more negative record also. Why? He was ready to stand there. He did not give up. He was the only batsman who was out for 0 maximum number of times. He was only batsman who was out for 1-digit runs maximum number of times. He was the only batsman who was out for 2-digit maximum number of times. He was the only batsman who was out between 95 to 100 maximum number of times. He was the only batsman who was out for 100 maximum number of times. He was the only batsman who was out from 145 to 150. Shall I continue? He told, no. Did you understand the message? He told, yes. Failures also is important in order to see success. A book is written on your success. A book is never written on what kind of failures I experienced. So be happy when you fail, because it is preparing you for that success. The first word, I did not satisfy your hunger. Don't give up. The second word, I shall. The third word, I will. And experts will come and say, he needs just one more attempt, one more time, and he will hit that bullseye. That is called as leadership skills. Not to give up. I am not ready to give up, come what may. That is called as leadership skills. Thomas Alva Edison, 9,999 times he failed how to design in the right manner a bulb which could glow for 15 minutes, not for hours together. And he never told he was a failure. He always told, my attempt to do that was a failure. I am not a failure. Most of you consider you yourself as a failure and you give up on life. Most of them have given up on their life, given up on their ambition of to achieving that because they failed 1 or 2 times. And this man did not give up even after failing 9,999 times. And the Saptvada, he did not give up until that nth time came, because in God's book there is nothing called as denial. Think over your past. Have you ever wanted something and really wanted something and you have not achieved it? No. You would have always achieved it. But you gave up in between. God cannot if you cannot. Always remember, God is a co-author of your destiny. When I talk about leadership skills, don't believe on yourself. Yes, sometimes we lose confidence. But believe that He is there in you who is actually executing everything. Do you think you can even wink your eye without thy will? Let us understand that simple logic. The sun is there, stuck automatically. No. Somebody has stuck it there and he is holding it there. The planets are going round and round and they are also rotating in axis level. Oh, do you think it is happening by itself? No, something is holding them there. An energy is holding them there. If you believe in this energy, don't give up. He is not ready to give up until unless you give up. If you give up, he also cannot. Most of your life, when you look at your past, it was not he came and told, "Arey yaar, you cannot," and he writes a mail, "My dear son, you cannot achieve this. Please stop thinking of achieving this." He never told. You only decided. Why? People will be there who will say 10 things. A man who cannot stick to one thing, he will fall for everything. He is not called as a leader. A leader is the one, irrespective of the world says anything, I will stick on to one thing. That is called as leadership skills. And a leader is the one who grabs the opportunity. Just like that, he has to grab the opportunity. When an opportunity comes, if you start thinking, should I take it or not, the opportunity will be passed to the next person. The rotating planets will not stay for some time also in some place. If it stays, that is how the nature does not work. It has to move. Within that time, you will have to get into that axis. That's how your satellite gets into various rotational shifts. And you also know that. If I miss that opportunity, next opportunity you will have to wait for so many number of days, maybe 1 year. All of us know this. But still, are we ready to take up the chance? No. When opportunities comes, we will not be ready. When a player is not waiting for the ball, he cannot catch the ball. He has to wait. He may not catch every match, every ball. He may get, he may not get. But the catch, what he gets, if it doesn't catch, is called as a failure. So you should always be alert. You should always be alert. Let me share this beautiful story, because a leader is the one who grabs opportunity. Most of us know today, Mahendra Singh Dhoni is a man of leadership. There is no doubt at all. Who is very calm, who is very much down to earth. He knows how to handle situation. He never gets angry. He has experienced the most difficult situations in his life during his matches, and he has executed it beautifully. He has also failed, but he has seen maximum success, just like Tendulkar. How did he actually get this opportunity of becoming a captain? Do you know? It is because when an opportunity came, he was ready to grab it. He knew there could be failures. Most of us don't take responsibilities because all of you are allergic to this word failure. All of us are allergic. Hey, अगर fail हो जाएगा तो let me make it try. If I fail, I will learn something. It will help me to become better. Let me eat the first vada. Let me understand. We are not ready to do that. We are allergic to this word failure. So we do not actually over test us. We do what we did yesterday. That is your comfort zone. If you continuously keep doing what you did yesterday, that is what animals do. They are always been doing what they did yesterday. Yesterday they were looking for food, they were looking for sleep, they were looking to mate. Yes, you are also doing the same thing. What's the difference between you and them? You should go out of the comfort zone. A human life is blessed onto you, which is not blessed to so many millions of other species. And if you are chosen to be a human, that means he knows that you have that leadership skills in you already implanted. You will have to just execute it. So when you are sitting yesterday and today in the same zone, that means you have not lived a human life. You have lived an animalistic life in a human form. That is the difference between ordinary and extraordinary people. Ordinary people live in that comfort zone. They continue to live in the comfort zone till their death. But extraordinary people or the same ordinary people, they push them to the next level. Modi could have told, I think it's not going to be possible. I am a Chief Minister of Gujarat. I want to continue like this only. It's my comfort zone. That was easy for him. No, they went to an uncomfort zone. Chandrayana 1, Chandrayana 2, it was an uncomfort zone. Chandrayana 2 to Chandrayana 3, it was an uncomfort zone. Because they had experienced failure. People were looking up to it. But if you can stand tall and firm, the world will simply follow. And that's what happened. All of you should know, our 2020 World Cup, India had not yet decided that it is going to play the first 2020 World Cup. We won the 2020 World Cup, that is the story you know. But do you know India was not ready to send a team because India never had experience of 2020 matches at all. When the first 2020 World Cup was announced, when any new project in ISRO was announced, it is not something which you know. It is something new. Are you daring enough to take the challenge? It is a foreign environment. It's a foreign experience. It's coming to out of the comfort zone and then executing it. It was a daring situation. The management decided instead of telling we won't send the team, we will send a team who will at least play, get experience and come back. So what we will do, we will have youngsters only, more of them, and we will also have a senior, a culmination of seniors and juniors will help the team to have good exposure. So let us select a team. So they call all the juniors, they put them into one room like this, all the seniors in another room. It is highly jam-packed. Nobody would listen to each other. First, they decide that they need to pick up a captain from the senior team, and they also need to pick up a team for the first 2020 World Cup. They come and they address the seniors. The seniors, as soon as they address, they say, we need to select the team from this. We also need to select at least 4 or 5 players from the seniors, rest of the players from juniors. How many of you would like to captain? They give an open invitation. None of the hand rises. Rahul Dravid, Sourav Ganguly, Tendulkar, Harbhajan Singh, Yuvraj, all were youngsters. None of them raised their hand. Few of them told, I don't want to be a part of a team. It is an youngsters team. We don't have exposure of 2020. So let the youngsters go. They will have exposure for the next World Cup. They will be ready. They also did not expect a cup. They told for the next World Cup they will be ready. Why? All of them were afraid of this word failure. Why? They felt 2020 is something we don't have experience at all. But there are a lot of teams who have been playing 2020 like IPL. It was there in every country. And they knew how to play 2020. And they decided they will not be a part of the team. Now the challenge was, very few players told we will play but we cannot be a captain. Tendulkar told I will play but I cannot be a captain. Because I am never captain. I don't have that kind of a captainship skills. Because leadership skill is different. He can perform individually, but as a team can he make others perform? No. If he tries more on that direction, his performance will come down. That is what is most of the people's problem. When their job is given, they execute it beautifully and they do miracle out of it. But a responsibility is given of others' job also onto their head, then they will monitor others' job, but their self-performance will come down, deteriorate. For that reason, some of them, that leadership skills do not get along with them right. So they say it has never worked for me, it will not work for me, we don't want to be a captain. All the senior players told we don't want to be a part of a team, it's an youngsters game, send the youngsters. Now they come to the junior team. What was the challenge for the junior team? The challenge was to select the team members. They had to select the team members. But one more biggest challenge was they had to select even the captain. They say, how many of you would like to be a part of this team? Youngsters are energetic. They don't damn care what happens. They want to participate. We as youngsters, we had this zeal and enthusiasm. Today only we think twice. As an youngsters, if somebody would have told dance, you would have danced. Now if I ask you come and dance, if I say come, we will jump from year till year. As a boy, if I would have told before I complete the sentence, you would have jumped. Now you measure, if I jump from here, what would happen, what would not happen. So much of hesitation, so much of anchoring, so much of resistance. And let me tell you, all this resistance and negative anchoring is not done by anybody else. We say, Dushman kahan hai? What do you say? Dushman? Most of the right answer you think is Dushman bagal mein hai. Can you repeat it? Dushman kahan hai? 3 times. Dushman kahan hai? दुश्मन कहाँ है? दुश्मन कहाँ है? The straightforward answer is दुश्मन बगल में है. Repeat it. दुश्मन बगल में है. दुश्मन बगल में है. Most of you are not repeating. अवले के बुवले के already कोटा. दुश्मन कहाँ है? बगल में है. But let me say, दुश्मन बगल में नहीं है, अंदर है. For Abdul Kalam, दुश्मन was not anybody else. He himself would have been a dushman if he wouldn't have pushed himself, and instead of the fishes, if he wouldn't have seen that reflection of the moon and told to himself, I want that moon, not the fishes. What you see is what is important. His friends did not say, look at the moon, look at the moon, look at the moon. Dushman bagal mein nahi hai. If Modi was successful, it was not because of his parents, because of his teachers, because of his because of the colleagues, because of the opportunities. God gives equal opportunities to every one of us. But we are not daring enough to grab that opportunity and go up and hit that bullseye and become successful, become that leader. Why? We want to live in that comfort zone. So dushman bagal mein nahi hai, dushman andar hai, because you don't make that opportunity. They did not make that opportunity. Opportunity came to them. They did not. They were not daring enough and they were afraid of this word failure. If somebody would have told you will definitely win this World Cup, they would have challenged themselves and they would have gone. They never had experience. It is something new for them. So they hesitated. This hesitation is again a non-willingness. So when they told how many of you want to be a part of this team, every hand raised up. And they told, I want to be a part of this team. Now either dushman kahan hai, nowhere else, dushman andar hi hai. But what they did, they suppressed that dushman and they brought a friend out of him, and that friend inside told, raise your hand and say, I want to be a part of a team. For that you require daringness. For that you require that willingness. Come what may, I am ready to do this. That willingness can take you to a place which you cannot imagine also. Now simply they want to try. They say, we have already selected the captain also. We have already selected for 5 players from there. Just for a change, if at all we want to send a captain from the youngsters team. Who wants to be a captain? One hand raises from the last bench. And that was Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He was waiting for an opportunity to burst. He was always waiting. He wanted the challenge to be taken. The moment they say, he raises his hands and I'll be the captain. Captain ban ke kya karoge? Jeet ke aaunga. That is the attitude you should have. He was daring enough. Leadership skills is an ability to influence self. He had to influence himself to push up self and others with or without authority. No authority was there. It was an option that was thrown. And everybody had an equal opportunity to raise their hand, even the seniors and juniors. He daringly told, I want to be a captain. And for him, taking up that captainship was a blunder after the first match, because India lost the first match very badly. When they lost the first match, the entire newspaper started writing what kind of team was selected, were the selectors drunk when they selected the team, and were they over drunk when they selected a captain. How could they select a captain who did not have any experience and exposure at all? Chanakya did not select Chandragupta Maurya when he had experience. Why don't we understand? He selected them when he was raw. He was a whiteboard. He could write whatever he wants. He came up to that boy and told, "मैं आपको emperor," means he never told, "मैं आपको king बनाऊंगा. I want you to be an emperor. मैं आपको emperor बनाऊंगा. I am not going to make you a king. I am going to make you an emperor. Are you ready for that?" He told, "Yes." Those stories were heard by Dhoni. When opportunity comes, opportunity does not come by coincidence. Most of you think na in life everything happens out of coincidence, but let me tell you, God को coincidence करने का उतना छोटा intelligence नहीं है. Infinite intelligence है. वो क्यों coincidence create करेगा? He creates everything incidental. You had to attend this class, it was incidental. One of you are going to become the next ISRO director, it is incidental. Nothing happens coincidence in life. You may think it is a coincidence, and that day it was not a coincidence, it was incidental, it was destined that an opportunity will be thrown to 20 of them from the senior, 20 of them from the junior, whoever dared enough to look. Actually speaking, Dhoni was the least experienced compared to all the players even here sitting in the juniors. But one man was ready to take up that opportunity and say, "I will, I shall." It was not easy to declare who should be the next Prime Minister of India, who was selfless and who worked selflessly. For that, they had to identify a solution giver, they had to identify a person where small opportunity was given, and how did he exhibit his leadership skills? How did he exhibit his leadership skills? People watch. A small opportunity is given. As a Chief Minister of Gujarat, a small opportunity was given and he executed it beautifully, not once, twice. So there was no looking back. People say he can be the best. Today also people say if a person like him becomes the Chief Minister of our state, it can make a big difference to our state. The same round today also is made by one more, Adityanath. Yogi Adityanath, people say if he would have been the Chief Minister of our state, every like-minded youth says if he would have been a Chief Minister of our state would have progressed somewhere. And today, when he has executed that UP so beautifully, people are looking up to him and saying he could be our next Prime Minister. Again, I am telling you, what you look and what you appear is not actually your skill sets at all. What you do is going to define your skill sets. What appears is completely different. Leadership skills is not appearance at all. Who, if you show Nelson Mandela and to a boy and say, "Do you think he is a leader?" Will he say he is a leader? No. He thinks He-Man is a leader. He thinks Spider-Man is a leader. He thinks Avenger is a leader. But a leader is not by appearance. How strong is his mind? How strong is he? He can influence himself without authority. Self-influence. That is called as leadership skills. And the first match they lost. When they lost the first match, the selectors wanted to come and speak to the team. Who is a good leader? Who takes whole and soul responsibility? Do you know what he did? He knew that the selectors are getting into the room, hotel's room. He came running down and he told, "You are not going to talk to me or any of my players. Give me one more match. Because the things what you say will actually push me down and push my players down. Give me one more match. If I don't prove you right, I will come and with all of my teammates and you can say whatever you want to say. Now I take the whole and soul responsibility. I know I can win back the next match." That is what is called as inner strength. When you believe in yourself so much, why do you think the universe will not believe? And he will say, "Your wish is my command, Dhoni. It shall be fulfilled." And the next match became a fulfillment. They won it so beautifully. The same newspaper told, "इस टीम में दम है, इस कैप्टन में भी वो दम है." And it went on. उसके बाद में next match we did not lose even one match and we got the first 2020 World Cup to India, and that was something which was unimaginable. And do you think there is any looking back now? No, there is no looking back. Why? The same man who was a captain, when a small responsibility of 2020 was given, when he executed it so beautifully, after the World Cup, 6 months down the line, they had to unanimously think of, I think we need a change in the captainship of one day also. Let us make Dhoni the captain of one day. And a new opportunity was given. He executed there beautifully. And there was no looking back. 6 months, 9 months down the line, he was also honored as a captain of Test match. And from there, there was no looking back. He is also considered as one of the best captain of Indian team. Why? He was ready to take challenges. He was ready to face that leadership skills. He was ready to influence himself and also influence his teammates, because he knew if Thomas Alva Edison was told that you are a slow learner, you cannot do anything in your life, we would have actually brought down a scientist and we would have bombed him right at that manner. His confidence would have got bombed and he would have been just ashes. Physically he is a human body, but mentally he would have been an ashes. Our mother did not let that happen. Dhoni did not let that happen. Reacting is a very easy. All of us react. Responding is what you will have to learn. Yes, Pulwama was something we cannot forget. And again, all that happened was not something that we could forget. People thought, okay, वो आके हमारा सिंदूर उठा के लेके जाएंगे तो हम immediately respond कर देंगे. No, a leader is the one who waits. It's okay to wait and look for the right opportunity and bang him back. And that is what happened. Uri, the surgical strike, or Operation Sindoor. That is what is called as leadership execution. And it was beautifully executed. So a leadership skill is culmination of all these points, told one after the other, one after the other. If I can put onto myself consistently, miracles are going to happen. What is your tea break time? 11. What's the time now? 10:45. So 11 when it comes, we will stop. So this is what we call is a leadership skills. Let us look at few of these slides to understand. See, all of us have this, I want to be a leader, I want to be a leader. But when a right opportunity comes, we are not ready to grab that opportunity. Like after Dhoni won the first World Cup, what everybody thought, I should have also been a captain. Agar I be captain hota, so I would have also been a winner. But you are not daring enough to take the challenge earlier. Why? Because you are afraid of failure. When you saw him being successful, you also wanted it. That is not called as a leader. A leader is the one who takes unconditional responsibility. And the moment he took that unconditional responsibility, there was no looking back. After that, people looked up to him always as a leader, and he had to live up to that reputation. It's not easy. When you become a great leader, when you become a good leader with no negatives at all, to stay there consistently over a period of time, permanently till the death, it's not easy. Abdul Kalam was able to exhibit that. Narendra Modi is exhibiting that. Atal Bihari Vajpayee exhibited that. Lal Bahadur Shastri exhibited that. So I can give you n number of such people who executed that attire. They lived and they died with that oath that they will be selfless, nation comes first. A leadership is the one who consistently maintains that. Leaders always will be looked at, leaders will be consistently watched, and match after match, incident after incident, situation after situation, you will have to show your leadership skills. But what we do not want to face that situation. We directly want to become a leader. That doesn't work. I don't want to eat that nth vada and say, mera hunger satisfy ho gaya. No, experience failure. A daringness to experience failure will bring too many success to you. A daringness of getting allergic to failure will only keep you in a comfort zone. You will live in the comfort zone and you will die in the comfort zone. That is a mediocre life. What is a mediocre life? Living in a comfort zone where I lived yesterday. Can I push outside? Yes, that is what is a challenge. That is human nature. You will have to push outside your comfort zone and then try. 50 centuries ho gaya, I will live in comfort zone. Still I am the best man. He did not say that. No, let me come out of that comfort zone. I want 51. Failure happened. Still he tried until that nth vada did not happen. And Tendulkar today has 100 centuries, which cannot be imagined in today's world by any team member to hit that bullseye. Not at all possible. Why? They were ready to face back again and again. As I told you, when I say I am a leader is the one who assumes unconditional responsibility. Conditional responsibility से काम नहीं चलेगा. Dhoni did not say मैं try करता हूँ sir, पूरे दिल लाओ. नहीं sir अपन जीत के आएगा. He was very clear. When you are very clear, God is also very clear. Your wish is my command, master. It shall be fulfilled. You only say नहीं एक मैच जीतेंगे तो काफी है. What the genie will say? Your wish is my command, master. एक ही मैच जीतोगे. You gave up even in your academics. Every time you went and you saw your academic results, God did not come and give up. You gave up. You looked at that result and what every time your mind told, I would have got better than this if I would have studied well. I would have hit better than this if I would have played well. I would have actually made revenue more than this if I would have put some smart and hard work. You say, are you ready to do that? No, we are not ready to do that. Why? We are always taking not an unconditional responsibility, conditional responsibility. That does not work. If my daughter needs me to take her to the interview, I will work. There it is unconditional. If it is for me, unconditional. Won't work. You always take it easy. So a leader is the one who actually leads by example. See, whenever you execute things, people look up to you how you set an example. You are a senior most person in the office or you are one of the person working in the office. How will you actually lead by example? By coming on time. Simple things. I come always on time and my entire teammates know that Malik sir will never be late for his classes. Malik sir will never be late for the office. I lead by an example. I lead by an example. I don't simply say, I follow it. That is what you will have to do. A leader is the one who leads by example. Can you lead by example? By being the front runner. It was never that Alexander the Great was in the back and he allowed his people to go and fight, or even Ashoka the Great allowed the people to fight. He stood in the front and he took up in charge. And Krishna stood in the most frontal position and he told Kurukshetra shuru hoga. He did not stand at the back. He was neutral, but still he stood in the front. Any Hara could come and hit him. There was this chances. Sometimes I say leadership skills does not mean that you are fearless. Most of the times you say, hey, I cannot become a leader. You have to become a leader, I should be fearless. Who told you fearlessness is leadership skills? Do you know the statement of courage? Courage does not mean I don't have fear. Courage means I know I have fear, but still I go there and stand. That is called as courage. An army, a navy and the air force and a person who was responsible for Uri surgical strike. I am not talking about Operation Sindoor because humans were not involved there. It was missionary. But for Uri surgical strike or any kind of that border activity or any kind of military encounters, do you know how dangerous it is? And our army men are ready to go there and they don't know which bullet from which direction is going to come, and that would be the last second of their life and they will never be able to see their loved ones. Knowing that I will never be able to see my loved ones, I go there and I stand. That is called as courage. Courage does not mean they are fearless. They have fear, they dare to go there and stand. Why? Because the vision is unconditional. Assuming there is a section 144, Corona sab jagah hai. Now my daughter is vomiting blood. 4 years old daughter. The same father who never wanted to get up on Sunday, even at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, early morning my wife says my daughter is vomiting blood, and we know there is section 144 or whatever section, shoot at sight order is there. Do you think all that will make any difference to me? Why? Because unconditional. I want to take my daughter. Otherwise I only would have told I cannot go out. She told go and get milk. I told no, I cannot go. Sunday I don't want to go. There is one section 127 or Corona, something I told. But the moment she told my daughter is vomiting blood, I immediately got up out of the bed, freshened myself, took whatever was possible, took my daughter and I told, are you going to go? She told, come what may, I am going to go. I don't want my daughter to put her last breath on my hands. Instead, I will take her with my life into stock. And he gets out, he picks up the car and he goes. The military may come and say, I'm going to shoot you, go inside. He said, I don't mind dying out of your bullet, but I cannot handle my daughter dying in my laps. That That is what is unconditional responsibility. Dhoni took up that unconditional responsibility. Modi took up that unconditional responsibility. Most of us conditionally we are ready to take responsibility. That means you have designed a second down line. It does not work. A great missionary, let us call missionary of charity, beautiful. But do you know how this teacher became this great Mother Teresa or the great saint and a great Nobel Prize winner? She was a teacher who came in an exchange program. She felt for the people who actually died during those times of leprosy when they had hit as a pandemic. People used to die on all the streets, and it was not like Corona where if somebody would have been sick, they brought them in and people went out. That was the present condition. In earlier leadership skills, that was not the condition. They used to throw every leprosy patients onto the streets. So, one of the old reporter who had actually done a research on the pandemic that happened in India, the leprosy pandemic, he writes one more write-up telling that this corona is going to hit India to the core. The highly populated country, India, will not be able to manage this corona. There will be deaths in every streets. There will be bodies lying on every streets. And the same India could not handle leprosy. They are still remembered as the bad management or bad leadership during the time of leprosy. They will do the same thing now. These were the words spoken. Do you know how we handled it? Great man is this leader. Every patient who was sick, an announcement had gone. There could be no such hospitals which will not take corona patients. They had to take it compulsory. Every in charge and cost of it would be taken by the government. Who was ready to do that? A leadership was required. The same thing could have been done at that time. They did not. They were thrown onto the streets. Looking at these people suffering, this lady decides, I want to build hospitals for them. I want to build charity. I want to collect in charity and build not one or two hospitals, multiple hospitals so that all the poor people are served freely. And she did it. When she had to resign from the school teacher's job, why I am saying leadership requires unconditional responsibility taking is, she goes there and she sits and she is negotiating. The principal is negotiating, she is not negotiating. She says, sir, I have already decided. I want to start hospitals. Not hospital, hospitals. He also makes fun of you. Are you talking a singular hospital or hospitals? She makes it very clear, hospitals. When the genie knows the clarity that you don't want hospital, you want hospitals, he again says, your wish is my command, lady. There will be multiple hospitals. What you speak also is very important. Where all you are going to speak? I think the entire world is my platform. These were the words spoken by that lady. And the genie says, your entire world shall be your platform. No, I will do it mere place mein, mere ghar mein, mere neighbor ke ghar mein. No, the entire world is my platform. Wherever the poor are not treated, I shall build my few hospitals. She was very strong. How much money do you have right now? Okay, right now, sir, you are asking, yes, I just have this one penny. Do you have at least third pair of clothes? Because she was a lady like Karna. She gave everything on to somebody who needed it. She did not have 2-3 pairs of clothes also. I know you have very few pair of clothes. And you give everything to everybody. I have heard about that. I really honor that. But all that on one side, starting a clinic will take so much of money. You are not talking about starting a clinic. You want to start an hospital. Not even hospital. You want to start hospitals, and that too hospitals all across the globe. Are you in your mind when you are saying these lines? Yes, I am. Do you think it is possible? She picks up that penny and says, with this penny and God on my side, everything is possible. And everything was made possible. The genie told it, your wish is my command, lady, and it shall be done. And miracles happened, and there were missionaries of hospitals all over the world. It was not an easy task. She went through a lot of challenges. Leadership skills, हमने decide कर दिया, automatically things will come. No, you need that consistency of holding on to it for a longer time. It does not come easy. You will have to struggle. You will have to take multiple pains. She took all that pain, and today we call her a sainthood. The only Indian who was honored with a sainthood was Mother Teresa, again a Nobel Peace Prize winner. So it is that you take that unconditional responsibility. And a leader is the one who leads by example. See, every action that you perform, you will have to lead by example by performing. A captain, when he is not able to perform, though he wins matches, people will not consider him as a captain. Why? A captain has to perform. Self-performance is very, very important. You cannot run away from performing and only be in words. He is never called as a leader. A leader is the one who can perform, execute things and make others also execute things. That is what we say lead by example. Lead by example is not that I smoke and I come to a gathering and say smoking is bad, please stop smoking. It doesn't work. You should actually show. People learn more by what you said, by what they see, rather than by what they hear. It was one such incident for you to understand how we will have to lead by example. It was one such Republic Day, because at the office we had a small Republic Day function. I had to pick up my friend and we had to go to office. So I go on the way and I am about to pick him up. He says, come have a cup of coffee, anyway we have time. I go there and he asks his wife, get a cup of coffee. He had still not taken bath. He says, I'll take bath and come. So he's about to go take bath and come. He finishes bath and he's coming. He's freshening up himself. All of a sudden, our the daughter sees one national, the four lions, the national symbol. And on the page, a full page ad was given. And she sees at the bottom something was written in Hindi. And she asked, Papa, what is this? He wanted to express that word in a very personality development manner, because you knew I was a trainer, he was also a trainer. He goes up to her and he says, wait ma, I'll come and explain. And he wears clothes and he says, here it is written, Satyameva Jayate. What do you mean by Satyameva Jayate? Ultimately, truth will win. The lies would have travelled half of the world. Most of the time, in your case also, you would have told a lie and it would have worked neatly. It would have travelled half of the life, half of the world, half of the time. Maybe 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years it would have travelled. And the truth is still tying the lace. But once the truth walks, the lie has to be known for the world and it disappears. The entire world will know that you have lied. You cannot consistently lie. A leader cannot consistently lie. He can lie until the truth is tying his lace. He is not at mood. It may be years. But once the truth moves, the lie has to be exhibited. It comes out. So please never lie for whatever reason. So he explains it like this. When he is explaining, all of a sudden the phone starts ringing. And most of us, we know, when we have a very strict boss, just to identify who has called, we keep certain ringtones. And my friend had kept dog barking. Bow, bow, bow. The moment bow, bow came, I also knew it is our boss. We both had the same boss. And my friend's wife also knew it is his boss. Daughter also knew it is his boss. Daughter said, hey, boss, 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 boss. Because daughter has seen him panicking whenever the boss calls. So immediately, because he was explaining that Satyameva Jayate and he never wanted to be interrupted, he again keeps on explaining. As soon as it rings, he calls his wife and he says, you pick up the call and you tell him he has gone for the bath. She comes about to pick up the call and then immediately it stops ringing. Then he says, okay, leave it, stop ringing, and he's explaining. You want any other example, ma? Satyameva Jayate means Satya alone will win, so never tell a lie for whatever reason. He's explaining her. Never ever tell a lie. Sometimes you tell a lie and you would have eaten 2 chocolates and you say only 1 chocolate. You should say 2 chocolates. There's nothing wrong. Okay, Papa, understood. Again the phone rings. Bow, 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 bow. And immediately he says, how many times I should tell you, come and pick up the call, and you say that he has gone for the bath. Then daughter is saying, Papa, Papa, what? I'm explaining you, ma. Ultimately, truth will win. You should not tell a lie even for small things. Papa, why are you telling a lie, Papa? You pick up the call and you answer him. Why do you want somebody else also to tell a lie? You not only are telling a lie, you are making your mother also. That means my mom also tell a lie. So, leading by example is not that. You will have to lead by example. Actually following it. Only then the leadership skills works. You should enact it. Only then the leadership skills works. Chanakya did not only be a teacher, he became a leader for himself and for Chandragupta Maurya, and that is the very reason why Maurya Empire could expand such large. It went on to beyond Afghanistan also. That was the power of our Maurya dynasty. So a leader is the one who takes unconditional responsibility, and leader is the one who leads by example. What you talk is not being heard more. What you actually do is what influences others. Before we could get on to 80, all of you will play a small game just to keep ourselves active. Can you stretch your hands? Okay, now for every multiples of 2 you will have to clap. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. What did I say? For every multiples of 2 you will have to clap. You should not fold your hands. Keep your hands straight. Most of you are not keeping it straight. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. What did I say you? For every multiples of 2 you should have clapped. That means you shouldn't have clapped for 1, you shouldn't have clapped for 3, you shouldn't have clapped for 5. You clapped for everything. Why? Though I am actually saying that you should not clap for multiples of 2, you are not actually focusing there. Your focus will be on what you see. So what you see has more view. I will have more influence on what you actually hear. So a person who can actually enact it can influence your subordinates, your colleagues, your family members in a better manner. You can't sleep and ask your beti uto padna hai. No, you get up. You get up, you do meditation, you take a bath. What we say in Brahmi Muhurta, taking bath is like you are experiencing that Ganga Snan, what you experience in Kumbh Mela. You did not wait for that Mahakumbh to come once in 124 years. People have told the same Kumbh is the environment that is early in the morning between 3:30 to 5 o'clock. During that time, every water that flows onto you, it is like you have taken Sakshat Ganga Snan. All of us know this. Every spiritual book talks about that. It is not the fasting of the 30 days what these Muslims keep. It is not that Navaratri fasting what these people keep. It is not the Jains fasting what they keep. Every books and every churches speak about that early morning time where they say it is the golden moment of this 24 hours. During that time, whatever you do is going to carry you from where you are to an elevated place. And that time you should be doing the most important job of your life. What you will be doing? You will be lazily sleeping on the bed. It doesn't work. You will have to lead by example. You will have to come first. The coach came first, and that was the reason he was able to exhibit such an amazing leadership skills. It was not easy for him to do that without. He exhibited, as a captain, he exhibited that leadership skills. He was there. He was there asking, yes, this is what you will have to do. He was there getting up early in the morning much before their daughters could get up, and he wanted them to get up. They always get up and they say, Papa, Bibi so raha hai, main jaake sota hu. Then Papa will switch on the light. Betiyan, hum ut gaye. Chalo, uto. That is called as leadership skills. Modi ji takes limbs and he allows others not to take limb. It does not work. Modi ji takes goose and he doesn't want others to take goose. It doesn't work. He doesn't take, he doesn't want anybody else to take. But still, there are horrible people still in this world. They do it. He also knows it. If there would have been a magical power, he would have told, let everybody have the same mindset as man. He leads by example. Every action he leads by example. What a leadership skills. The only person of his family, the only person whom he loved, admired was his mother. His mother was everything to him. When she passes away, he was completely devastated. There is no doubt at all. We will be upset to the core. You may say, you may not say. The rituals are done for 2-3 hours. And then he comes and he wanted to just sit for some time. One of his personal assistant, he comes. He has an experiment. He is trying to express through his non-verbal communication, should I cancel all the appointments for the next 1 week? That was what was in his mind. Looking up to him, a visionary, a man who can read the minds, because they get up early in the morning, they know the importance of Brahmi Muhurta, they know the importance of meditation, sitting in silence. I know what you wanted to ask. Next 1 week is in your mind, na? No. the 2 meetings which was actually cancelled, I want it to be rescheduled. I will take it up online right now. None of my work will be cancelled. My mother always told me, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा मैं इधर से जा चुका होऊंगा, उस दिन कुछ भी बदलना नहीं मोदी, उस दिन कुछ भी बदलना नहीं. And he kept up that word and he continued to work. People would have taken off, people would have taken weeks off, people would have taken that 1 month ceremony off, people would have taken that 1 year ceremony off. Never ever. His Deepavali was not celebrated there. A leader is the one who has to lead, something like that. I don't say Trump is a bad leader, but for a few set of people who admire him, he has stood there very strong, telling that it comes nation first. I want to see US is going to be the first. The citizens of US is going to be the first. Rest we will think of it later. Live and let live. He follows that simple concept. I don't say his leadership is horrible. It's very difficult to have that kind of a leadership, that daringness to tell the entire world, I will do what my country wants me to do. It is really good from the country's perspective. He wants his country to earn as much as money, his people to get the maximum good jobs. Beautiful. But will it always work? It may not work. To take such a challenge is a daringness. That is what is called as leadership skill. As a leader, he stood there seeing to it that every time when something was executed, he led by example. He followed it and he led by example. He also followed it, led by example. She also followed it, led by example. He also followed it, led by example. It was easy for him to say, we are going to chase the Britishers out of India. उसने बोल दिया तो आने से ब्रिटिशर्स भाग गए नहीं. And leadership skills happens not by coincidence, it was incidental. This man never wanted India he never wanted from India anything, he never wanted to give India also anything. Let me be very blunt and honest. He told apna life, apna family, and he went to South Africa. He was working as a barrister there. He wanted to earn enough money, come back and settle his life. No incarnation towards freedom struggle, nothing. He used to drink, he used to smoke, he has stolen from his father's pocket, he has done all nonsense. We have seen in the books. But one day when he gets onto the compartment of a white, which was only meant for a white in South Africa, and it was not meant for the blacks. They used to have separate compartments. One compartment for the masters, one compartment for slaves. In the slaves, the black and the browns could go. Blacks are South Africans, native people. Browns are we Indians or others who have gone, South Asian people. So when the train was moving, he did not know what to do. Accidentally he gets onto the train. When he accidentally gets onto a train, in an helpless note, he wanted to jump back, but the train had already picked up the speed. He knew if he jumps, he is going to injure himself very badly. Not to trouble anybody, he goes just like a street dog and in one corner, without being noticed by anybody, he sits there. He did not distract anybody. He did not come and sit in the places where he was not supposed to sit. Nothing like that. But still, all the whites who were there in that compartment treat him like a dog which would have got in a shit and got into your house. What will you do? You chase him out with sticks. The same thing they do. At that moment, he gets only two thought processes. I'm going to commit suicide. This kind of humiliation I can't handle. And one more, I'm not only going to chase these Britishers out of India, out of South Africa, even out of India. That is where that first trigger of I want to fight the Britishers will come. And the trigger was in a reverse order. They have treated me so badly, I'll treat them like a friend. With ahimsa I'm going to chase them. I don't know why that thought process came. It comes and it stays so strong in them. It's very difficult to get that strength. We always are humans, but still when somebody thinks of disturbing us to the core, we become an animal out of ourselves and we do the most cruelest thing which the other person wouldn't have anticipated at all, because we are humans. Humans are a combination of angel and devil which is there inside. Coexistence means outside also, inside also. If you want my devil to come out, it comes out. Can you handle the devil? You cannot. So it's better you keep the devil intact. They try to work on this devil. He says, no, I will not bring the devil. I'll bring an angel. I'll chase these Britishers out of India and out of South Africa. And that is what he strongly did. It was not easy. He came back and he told, I'm going to fight these Britishers with ahimsa. People told, Bapu, pagalu. आप कैसे ब्रिटिशर्स को अहिंसा मार्ग से इधर से भेज दोगे? Subhash Chandra Bose also thought how funny it looks when Gandhiji says he is going to send these Britishers out of India. He comes and he says, Britishers आप जाओ, अहिंसा मार्ग हम यूज करेंगे, and वो लोग चले जाएंगे. No, he was an young man, young chap with lot of hairs. By the time India got freedom, none of his hair existed. Why? It was a struggle for years together. And finally, when you decide that you want something, a leader, once he decides he wants something, with that what we call it as no conditional thoughts, the world and the universe will assemble itself to make your dream come true. That is what his leadership is. You need not do anything. You need not move the mountains. Mountains will automatically move, and that would happen. You will have to have that willingness. Where there is a will, there is a way. You have that will. Way will automatically get formed. That is what happened. There used to be this man, a very good politician. We used to call him as Martin Luther King Jr. All of you would have read about him. Martin Luther King Jr. was an amazing public speaker. Why some of them are very amazing public speaker? Because by nature they have that ability, and they can express things what they can feel through the heart so beautifully, and it touches the heart of the listener. Though the Americans did not like any black man, because America always witnessed that there was a color difference. The whites were treated as masters, the blacks were treated as slaves. It was a very, 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 very bad state. Just like in India.
Excuse me, sir, I want a tea break.
No, if it comes, tea comes, we will take a break.
Okay, not come.
I don't know. If he comes, usually he barges in. That is what I have seen in all the sessions. The person comes and says, chai sir. Then immediately we'll take a break. One of you can go and see. Okay. As soon as the tea comes, अगर चाय वाला आएगा तो हम लोग स्टॉप कर देंगे. आ गया? वो चाय, बिस्किट्स, टिश्यू पेपर पूरा लेकर आता है. I've been coming to this organization from past 15 years. So I know the interiors have improved day by day. But we as trainers, our age would have crossed. We are still the same trainers. So it comes, as soon as it comes, they inform us and we will go. I'll give you that break. Now, when I'm talking about this great man, why do we call him Gandhi? And he was not a father of Indian's nation. The entire world calls them father of their nation because he was directly or indirectly responsible for the downfall of colonial system of Britishers. Not only in one place. Britishers were not alone in East India Company was not alone in India. They were in all over the world. Just like India's Ashoka had conquered most of the places, the Chandragupta Maurya had gone crossing and touching half of the China, half of the Japan also. So that way it was there. And this man, once he had decided that we want freedom for ourselves, there was no looking back they gave. Why I am telling a leadership skills is just holding on to that thought process, that's all. This thought process of मुझे एक emperor को लेकर आना है, that was the thought process of the great Chanakya. He was able to achieve because he was able to hold that idea till his last breath. So हम लोग what we say is अगर आप किसी चीज को चाहते हो and if you want to achieve it, you will have to just hold on to it until it manifests into reality. If you give up, it will not happen because you are the trigger for that. And this time when this Martin Luther King Jr., when he was addressing this huge gathering, every time he came on the dais and he told same statement he used to use, just like Swami Vivekananda. My brothers and sisters of America, one day you would see, he used to show that White House in that Abraham Lincoln Open Hall. He used to stand on the steps and there used to be a huge stage. He used to show the White House and say, one day this White House will witness that America will not have a color discrimination. What did he mean? That means one day this White House will witness a black president. That is what he told. And people who were there, they started saying, oh, why? How will it happen? Even movies where a black president was shown, though it was a good movie, such movies became a flop there. Why? People did not go and watch. They banned it. Not in papers, mentally people stopped watching such movies. That was the condition in America. And White House was named white because it was meant only for white. No, even servants will not be blacks. That is how they wanted the White House to be preserved. And this man makes a commitment and he makes an announcement telling, "Ek din aisa aayega where this White House is going to witness a black president." People told, "Oh, again I am saying, as a leader, when you release your vision, you will have to make it very clear because the genie should know that. Do you want to see?" He did not say, "Ek din aisa aayega when my children and their children will witness," he told. He did not say, "I will witness." The moment he told that, he dies after 5-6 years, a good man. After his death, down the line, you see Obama becomes the first black president, not once, twice. And he was a very successful black president. So, a leadership skill is having that vision and working towards vision come what may. If you are ready to work towards vision, it automatically works. We'll take a break. Once we come back, we will speak about few more points. And after the tea break, what is the next break time?